30% of the world is fat and no country is immune. Now, research has found over the past 3 decades, no country has been able to curb obesity rates. Joining me in studio are Andrea Jenkins, a nutritional therapist, and Julia Goedeke from the South African Medical Research Council. Thank you both for sitting down with me.
Thanks.
Now, Julia, why is it so hard to curb obesity rates?
I think because we live in an obesogenic environment, so we're surrounded by fast foods, very high energy dense foods with actually little nutritional value. People are eating large quantities of these, and also no one's doing any activity. And on top of that, people are sitting down a lot, so being very sedentary, which is a bit different from being physically active.
Now, like I said, we haven't been able to curb obesity rates in the past 3 decades. Has this been the case for the past 3 decades?
Yes, and it's actually in the developing country, the rate has, it hasn't decreased, but it's attenuated. Whereas in developing countries, the rate is still increasing quite dramatically. Especially in South Africa, you can see the rate of obesity has increased quite remarkably. Now,
Andrea, as a nutritional therapist, is this what you see as well?
I do. I see, obviously, the sitting down is is key. That's happened, more sedentary lifestyle. I think also people are veering towards processed and convenience foods, and they don't understand that it's actually dead food. It's not giving you the nutrition, and your body craves more and more, so you tend to consume more calories. And also in that food is comprised with a lot of extra sugars, a lot of extra fine carbohydrates, poor quality fats that people don't realize are actually in the product that they buy. So their choices in foods are wanting to have more convenience, but it actually is a sort of a catch-22 in a way.
Now, there are a lot of points that I want to touch on. The first one is sitting down. It seems that we all, not all of us, but most of us have to sit down to work, and we have to work to survive. How do we get around that?
A simple thing is just to get up every half an hour or so. And actually, I think in the States, they come up with a gadget that you sit on your cushion and beeps every 30 minutes to make you get up. But I think also, you phone a colleague or Skype a colleague who's down the corridor where you could get up and go and chat to them.
Now,
I think it's not even at work, it's after work where people just sit in front of the TV or in front of a computer on their phones.
So it really is a lifestyle change that has to happen.
And it's an awareness thing. It's sort of when you start to become more active and you incorporate it and start to take time out for yourself too. I think a lot of people get so sucked in to one angle and they're completely forgetting what actually makes them feel better and what makes them function better at work. I think that's also an area that has gone wrong.
Now, what makes a person overweight or obese?
You could simply say that it's too much energy in and not enough energy expenditure, so your energy balance is wrong, so you accumulate more calories as fat.
Fantastic.
Was this something that we need to address on a governmental level?
Definitely.
What kind of recommendations would you have if the government were to change some things in society? What would they be?
I think access to facilities, parks, safe environments for kids to play in, and but also awareness that it is a problem, because in some communities, particularly the poorer black communities, more traditional communities, there is a perception that being overweight is a good thing. It's associated with affluence, wealth, higher social status, and being well looked after. And also another problem is not having HIV. So if people lose a lot of weight, it's often associated with HIV, and then there's a stigma attached to that.
I think that the government could also do the nutrition in schools. That's obviously a big area. But also I kind of think that advertising has also got a role. As soon as advertising changes, so that it becomes sort of a fun, interesting way of getting healthy food into this is the thing now, rather than it being Pepsi and Coca-Cola and Simba chips making a big hype and kids want that because they see all the animation linked to that. You're shifting it so that you're making healthy food quite cool as well. I think that's quite achievable, and I think it will happen.
There's been quite a lot of lobbying against big food companies like the Pepsi, Cokes, McDonald's. But similar to what was done for smoking to ban the advertising, they want to do with sugary foods and try reduce the advertising, especially to kids, because if you watch kids programs, all the advertisings directed at them. It's all fast, sugary foods. And people aren't aware how much sugar there is in a can of Coke or a fruit juice. Fruit juice has got as much sugar in it, if not more, than Coke. And people think, well, I'll give my kids fruit juice because it's healthy. But if they're sitting watching TV, then it's not healthy.
Yeah, I mean the gasiness is not great for mineral taking out minerals, but yeah, there's an enormous amount of fruit, and I think with kiddies it's also all about association, about when they do an advert and associating, they want that because Goofy does that or something. So just changing that would be great.